Hello, I'm Dr. Eleni Meletiadou. I'm a senior lecturer and program director at LMU. And today I'll be talking about the power of educational digital storytelling and how I use this innovative teaching method to support teaching and learning at the Guildhall School of Business and Law. This is an overview of my presentation. I will first provide an introduction, then I will describe the current study, the study that I conducted. I will discuss the research design. I will present the findings, and then, of course, I will also elaborate on the contribution of this study and offer some concluding remarks. Let me first discuss the background of this study. So according to research, educational digital storytelling is a pioneering learning-oriented technology-enhanced approach which allows students to develop a wide range of academic and professional skills. It was also reported to enhance collaborative skills, teamwork skills, and communication skills as it engages students in collaborative work, such as co-working to improve the stories and co-creating stories. These were found to improve students' social skills. Students also became better at communicating their ideas and listening to different views and perspectives from their peers when they were engaged in educational digital storytelling. Basically, this builds on research, where making, crafting, and sharing of stories at the heart of human experience and social transformation. So there are various studies that have indicated that educational digital storytelling provides numerous benefits to learners, such as, for example, affective benefits, because educational digital storytelling enhances motivation, cognitive, as it develops students' critical thinking, conceptual, as it enhances understanding, academic, as it develops students' skills, technological, as it enhances students' IT skills, and finally social, as it promotes interaction. So let me first describe the current study. So there has been a lot of research in primary and secondary education, but very few studies have explored the impact of educational digital storytelling on students' writing skills and motivation in higher education. The current study attempted to fill in this gap by exploring the use of educational digital storytelling with business school students. The overall aim was to develop students multilingual, to develop multilingual and multicultural students' writing skills and also their motivation towards learning. So these specific students were asked to tell their own digital stories using either blogs or websites or video presentations. These level 4 students engaged in interactive seminars for a whole academic semester, and the overall aim was to develop their professional skills but also increase their motivation in the post-COVID-19 era. So in terms of the research design, basically we had 200 level 4 students. These were asked to participate in the study in terms of the MN 4057 module. This is a module that develops students' digital skills. In terms of this study, they were asked to prepare a digital report which told a digital story. They chose to create either they chose their own company, and then they had to have a look at the website of the company and do some research on this specific website and explore the online business strategies that the company used. Students had to submit their digital story at the end of the academic semester. They were asked to submit a self-reflective report as well. In this self-reflective report, they provided answers to a number of questions. So basically, these reports were analyzed to explore students' perceptions of the benefits of EDS on their digital literacy, application of theory into practice, critical thinking, reflection, and self-reliance. So, taking into consideration the qualitative findings of this study, please keep in mind that the researcher collected students' self-reflective reports, in which they were able to discuss their experiences during this academic semester, while they used the educational digital storytelling approach. And he also conducted a focus group discussion and asked students to share their experiences using Mentimeter every 2 weeks. So the qualitative findings of the study indicated that the students thought that educational digital storytelling enhanced their digital, professional, and critical thinking skills, improved their writing skills, increased their motivation and self-confidence, and developed their intercultural awareness, partially confirming previous research in other settings. So basically involving and motivating learners, I believe it is always crucial for effective learning, and educators should prepare meaningful activities to increase learners' interest and engagement, and of course foster active learning. Previous studies have indicated that the use of technology enhances writing performance and students' attitude towards learning in technology-rich classes. So according to the qualitative findings of this study, EDS promotes authentic learning as students often use their own personal stories, which they integrate with theory, creating compelling content. After completing challenging tasks successfully, students who develop their autonomy due to their use of EDS become more self-confident and reflective and adopt a more positive attitude towards learning. Consequently, the current study indicated that EDS emphasizes various motivational constructs such as task significance, autonomy for learning, and reflective practice, confirming previous research. You can see also here some of the major themes and also students' comments. So in the previous slide, I discussed the benefits, the perceived benefits from this approach. Of course, taking into consideration students' thoughts and also the reflective reports. However, we also had challenges, as is normal, no matter which approach we use with students. So some mature students reported that they faced challenges while using EDS. They needed some additional training to use certain elements. For example, some of them wanted to use podcast in their stories, and also they needed more time to prepare a digital story compared to because it was more demanding compared to an ordinary written assignment, for example, a report. Overall, students' identities were reflected in the digital stories, which were shared in terms of the current implementation, and final conclusions identified the affordances of multilingual educational digital storytelling in hopefully creating an interculturally oriented curriculum in higher education institutions around the world. So, all these findings were also confirmed by the lecturer's observations. Of course, there are limitations in the current study. This was a small sample, only 200 students. A specific age group, most of these students were in their 20s or in their 20s. And then and some of them were in their 30s as well. There was always the period of research was very limited. We used it for only one academic semester, and we only used reports. So we cannot generalize these findings to other populations, or we don't know whether the use of EDS could yield the same kind of results if we use them, for example, in essay writing. So, taking into consideration the findings of the study, we can offer some recommendations. We believe that students should be offered systematic training and support before using EDS to avoid discrimination. Because maybe, for example, mature students need more training and more support. Also, digital narration, we saw that it created a psychologically safe and supportive foundation for intercultural and multilingual cooperation and learning, and this supported most of all international students. Also, lecturers should emphasize the product and the process of learning, taking into consideration that learners need to develop their academic skills while preparing their digital stories. Also, they need to focus on assessing students' writing skills rather than the elements that students use to make their stories more attractive. Let's keep in mind that our main aim is to develop students' writing performance and increase their academic achievements. In addition, educators must have a detailed plan which can guide their students. So students do need guidance and support, especially when they use EDS for the first time. I think that this should help them understand the reasons why they're expected to engage in educational digital stories, because of course we don't expect students to engage in any kind of teaching or learning intervention unless they understand that they have benefits to reap from it. So lecturers should also have clear assessment criteria when they use educational digital stories, and ensure that these match their curricular goals. Otherwise, the implementation will not be successful, and certainly it's going to be unfair for some students. As London Med University wants to promote social justice for all its students, we need to take that into consideration. So therefore, additional research is necessary on the use of EDS in multicultural and multilingual higher education. So future research needs to explore the use of EDS in other academic programs, for example, at the postgraduate or the doctoral level, or take into consideration other types of course delivery, especially those which have become increasingly popular due to the recent COVID-19 crisis, for example, blended learning. So all in all, considering the current study, I believe that EDS seems to be a powerful tool for higher educational lecturers who would like to enrich traditional courses and allow students, especially at the graduate level, to have access to and become proficient in the 21st century multimodal literacies. So I would like to thank you for your attention. Here is my email. Please don't hesitate to contact me if you have any questions, or if you would like to use educational digital storytelling in your classes as well. I'll be happy to help you. Thank you.